is your name in all the earth. My light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my meditations. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my God. For unto thee will I pray. My voice shalt thou hear in the morning. O Lord, in the morning will I direct my prayer, and unto thee will I look unto. After acknowledging God, I would like to acknowledge everybody in the building. To the red, to the brown, to the yellow, to the white, to the black, to the Republicans, to the Democrats, to the saints, to the sinners, to the losers, to the winners, to the strong, to the weak, to the bold, to the meek, to the graduators, to the haters, to the living, to the late, to the unsung, to the great, to the seers, to the Moors, to the rich, to the poor. Greetings, family and friends, colleagues and clergy, distinguished guests, sisters, brothers, and agents undercover. Like Brother Malcolm used to say, everybody's here. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Stephen Silver, formerly known as the American Griot, now orator, poet, activist. That makes me an Neuropatus. I am your brother, your fellow freedom fighter, doing my very best to fight for the full and complete liberation, the full and complete and unadulterated liberation, the freedom, the justice, the equality of the black man and black woman here in the hills and hills of North America. I am a proud product of the Civil Rights Movement. I am a proud product of the Black Muslim Movement. Both movements are unequivocally and equally great. I am the synthesis of Martin's love and Malcolm's hate. And for those who don't know me, for those who don't have a clue, let me say right now that I'm pleased to meet you, and for others who just don't know it, I am the one they call the poet. I particularly want to admonish you today that we should and must strive to secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity. Today's Black lecture is entitled Patriotism or Racism? Secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. These words, these sentiments were taken and torn from the pages of the preamble of the Constitution of the United States of America. America is full of it, full of pretty promises, full of pious principles, full of patriotic poems, full of pompous platitudes. But none said it more eloquently and sincerely than Dr. King, who spoke of what he saw as the inextricable interconnectedness of the human family. He said, and I quote, "We are all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, that we're tied in a single garment of destiny, and whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly." He said, "For some strange reason, I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. The rich man can never be what he ought to be until the poor man is what he ought to be." And I would like to add to that, white America cannot be what it ought to be until black America is what it ought to be. To brown America, yellow America, red America is what it ought to be. Another document penned by the founding fathers, or more like the confounding fathers. I said not the founding fathers, but the confounding fathers, because I'm confused. How can you espouse freedom, justice, and equality and support and practice slavery at the same time? Not the founding fathers, but the confounding fathers, because I'm confused. That is hypocritical. A hypocrite is defined as one who said one thing yet practiced the opposite. The Declaration of Independence, or more again, I would like to call it the Declaration of the Hypocrites. I say that because many, if not all, the signers of the Declaration were slave owners. However, it still can serve as a precedent and prescription for all oppressed people who seek freedom from oppression. It says, and I quote, "When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for a people to dissolve the political band that connect them to one another, and to assume amongst the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God, to declare the causes which impel them to the separation." Dr. King also spoke of justice and the lack of justice in America. When a nation deviates from the straight path of God, it becomes necessary for God to send a prophet to declare, "Thus saith the Lord." Dr. King, a modern-day prophet, quotes the words of Prophet Isaiah, the prophet of old. He spoke of valleys being exalted, mountains and hills made low, rough places made plain, crooked places made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is the even-handedness of God, a metaphor of justice. And so I come to you today as a modern-day black nationalist poet and freedom fighter. I would like to quote another Euro-American patriot and hypocrite, Patrick Henry. Oh, no good, Massa Patrick Henry, who also owned slaves. There's no such thing as a good slave master. Nevertheless, he got it right when he said, and I quote, "His life so dear or peace so sweet, so as to be purchased at the cost of chains and slavery. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." Again, I'm reminded but of the words of the black abolitionist, slave abolitionist, Frederick Douglass. He said, and I quote, "If there's no struggle, there's no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom yet deprecate agitation are those who want crops without plowing the ground. They want the rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the sound of its awesome waves. The struggle may be a moral one. The struggle may be a physical one. The struggle may be both moral and physical, but there must be a struggle. For power conceives nothing but demand. Never has. Never will. Frederick Douglass, 1857. So when foolish men make statements like, "Make America great again," Mr. President, Mr. Trump, or would you rather be called Grand Imperial Wizard, always talking about fake news, your fake president? I want to know, make America great again. When was America great? When was it grand? When you stole land from the native man? Was it great when chattel slavery was the order of the day? Was it great when women had no vote or say? Was it great because of segregation? Was it great because of the birth of an Aryan nation? Was it great when the great buffalo bison became nearly extinct? Was it great when the Great Depression, when an uncollapsible economy tanked and sank? Tell me, Mr. President, tell me when. What the hell do you mean by great again? So I conclude, patriotism or racism, you can't have it both ways. There's no such thing as a good slave master. Good slave master are oxymorons, contradiction in terms. America, white America, stop the charading. You're masquerading. Can you admit or level? Are you an angel of light or a damnable devil? Thank you.